There are places where time doesn't feel linear, where past and present blur like smoke. In Salem, Essex Street is one of them. A street walked by Puritans and poets, merchants and mystics, and now by the curious and the called. Essex Street runs like a spine through Salem, one of its oldest roads. It dates back to the 17th century when it connected local homes, churches, and markets. It was once trodden by magistrates during the witch trials, a path leading toward judgment for some and ruin for others. Later, in the 18th and 19th centuries, Essex became a hub for maritime merchants, part of Salem's transformation into a wealthy port city. Ship captains returned here from far corners of the world, bringing silks, spices, and strange tales. Today, the street is pedestrian-only in parts, but the energy still flows. Each stone and storefront holds layers of history and whispers. What was once a road of law and commerce has become a boulevard of belief and curiosity. Essex Street is now lined with metaphysical shops offering crystals, herbs, and spell kits, psychic readers, and tarot practitioners who channel guidance from cards. The Salem Witch Museum, anchoring the western end of the street, with its dramatic storytelling and tribute to the victims of 1692, and the Peabody Essex Museum, one of the oldest continuously operating museums in the U.S. But it's not all attractions. There's a hum here, a pulse beneath the pavement. People say the veil feels thinner. That things linger. That intentions set on Essex Street have a strange way of manifesting. Though no executions happen directly on Essex, the street still bears witness. Many of the accused were marched nearby. Some of the judges and ministers lived just off this road. Walk far enough, and you'll pass the old First Church, where fiery sermons fed public hysteria. Today, Essex Street honors their memory in quieter ways. In the careful way shopkeepers talk about protection spells, and the museum exhibits about injustice and fear, in the candles left burning in windows to honor the silence at night, Essex Street transforms. It becomes theatrical, half festival, half seance. Street performers mimic witches and spirits. Tour groups huddle, hearing tales of the lady in white, who's said to drift silently from one end of Essex to the other, always vanishing at the same corner. Locals tell stories of shops where mirrors fog over on their own, or music boxes start without touch. But it's not all eerie. There's laughter, art, music, connection, because in Salem, magic isn't just a performance, it's a way of remembering, of reclaiming. To walk Essex Street is to walk through intention. This is a place where people light candles for ancestors, where questions are asked out loud and answered in symbols, where belief isn't scoffed at, it's honored. Maybe that's why Essex Street feels alive. Because it is. Not just with tourists and tarot cards, but with memory and hope and healing. Essex Street is more than a road. It's a ritual, one you walk with every step.